So if you know the artist Queen Naija, she's the one that came out with that song Karma a while back. I think she had recently just put out a new record. She was in a relationship with a brother by the name of Chris Sales. And they end up, breaking up. They end up having a son together. Now, my thing is, I always tell brothers this. If that woman is not worth your last name, she isn't worth having your child. Because if you follow that model, brothers, okay, it will save you a lot of heartache. Because a lot of you is not rushing to get married. A lot of you know that if you get married, you better pick the right one. Because, at the end of that marriage, it could, really decimate you as a man, especially if you are a man that worked hard, you got yourself established, you're making a good amount of money. The marriage laws could decimate you. So usually you want to pick the right one. The thing is about us as men, right? Even though we are the ones that choose a woman to be married because women trying to get chose, right? So we do have that ability. But understand something is that when you having children with women that you're not married to, brothers, they going to have all the power in family law courts. I'm telling you that. They got the power. Unless they are a drug addict or they messed off some sort of way. Usually the courts is so biased and so feminist. Yes, the courts are very, very feminist, even though you have male judges. And all these laws that affect men when it comes to child support, divorce, was all set up by white men. Okay, it wasn't black men or any other group of men. It was white men that did this because a lot of them are just some simps. Let's call it what it is. Right. And that we already know how they move. But I'm saying all that to say, before I get into this story, if you keep that attitude, what I'm trying to tell you, if she's not worth your last name, if she's not worth walking down the aisle with, then she's not worth having your child. And don't depend on her, because some of you try to do that. I've heard that excuse. Well, she said she was taking birth control, or she should have been doing this, or she should have been doing that. No. You have way more to lose as a man. Okay. Way more to lose. She have that child, she can get all kind of government help and everything. Society will be so sympathetic to her. They'll give her a free house. They'll give her free food, whatever, right? You as a man, not going to get anything but a child support bill for 18 years and probably mad because you didn't intend to have no child. And now you're dealing with issues and problems. I'm trying to warn you, brothers, don't have children if you're not willing to marry that woman. I lived by that myself. I practiced that. I haven't had no babies outside of marriage because I refused to have some out of wedlock children. I refused. But in this story, you have Chris Sales here. He took to Twitter, and we're going to talk about, both sides of the argument, of course. And he posted here on Twitter. He said, you break somebody's heart. That's one thing. But trying to take their child away and give them a limited amount of time for 1 month, the whole year, is dead wrong. She said, shake my head. It's fathers who don't want to be in their child life at all. I guess that's what I get. Okay. So he's talking about, he's not getting the time he feels that he deserves with his child. Now, people are making comments here talking about him being in and out of jail, for anger issues, etc. Of course, maybe these are Queen Naija fans. Now, on the next slide here, she responds to that on Instagram, and she says cap, of course, saying he's lying. I say he gets to see his son at least a week out of the month. It say he's mad. It say he only gets 1 month out of the summer. It said based on the situation CJ has been put in while in his father's care and the evidence I have in my files, it said I'm being very lenient, so let's tread lightly. I'm protecting my son. Now she says hate when people play victim. Then she also says that everyone with their 2 cents could save it because y'all speaking on only what y'all have seen, not knowing there's more. See, a part of being a parent is leading by example. Okay. So it looks like a woman shows up on this post here and says 7 days out of the month to bond and spend time with your child. It said that's ridiculous. And you can tell who's the bitter baby mama or talking about she said what she said, dummies. Now, the deal is that when, Chris had his son He got into some, altercation, and he ended up going to jail while he had custody of his son. Queen Naija was wondering where's the baby at, what's going on, but of course, the baby was fine, was okay, right? Now, as a parent, when you have your children, you don't try to get yourself in situations that could escalate, or you can try to defuse situations. Like, I got my child with me. But at the same time, if it's something like self-defense, well, you got to defend yourself. You can't just really let somebody do you something, right? But it's just a catch-22. But at the same time, maybe because of this incident that happened, maybe she is taking it a little further than what she should have, right? And there are women that do that. There are women that sometimes are bitter with the situation. Now, he wants to see his child more, which that's a good thing, right? Because you got a lot of dudes, which he said, out here that don't want to see their kid whatsoever. Like, man, F that kid. They got some guys that if they're not with you, they're not with the kid either. They really, they say, oh, he was such a great dad when we were together, but then now we're apart. He don't even see the child no more. You got guys on that. That's the truth. They won't see their kid like, oh, it is what it is. But when they were with you, they was the best dad ever, right? They'll get with a new woman and be great with that kid. But that's just kind of how he rolls. You know what I'm saying? But if the man want to be in his child's life, meet him halfway some way. You know what I'm saying? Instead of getting to this back and forth on the internet. Now, I will say this, okay, you had a child with her, it happens, right? The best thing you can do as a man, if you want to talk about your visitation, you need to get a lawyer. You need to go to court. You need to fight for expanded possession, okay? Expanded possession gives you more time with your child. You want to get it done through the courts, because if she deny you, okay, if she say, no, he's not going to do this, he's not going to do that, right? Then you can file, against her a motion of enforcement, right? Once you file a motion of enforcement, now she got to come back to court and tell that judge why she didn't allow you to see your child. And that judge could fine her all the way up to hold her in contempt of court and put her in jail. You understand? Going to court protects you with your visitation. You don't let no woman dictate anything as a man. That's something men don't ever do. Men are supposed to take control of every situation that they're in. Like, you're not going to dictate anything. I'm going to do what I got to do as a man and use my resources to make sure to get the things that I need to get. You understand? So you want to have the expanded possession. Now, child being, I think the child is young, so that's going to go so far. But as the child get older, because let's say in the state of Texas, expanded possession in the state of Texas, like in the summer, you get 45 days with your child, right? Instead of the normal 1 month out the summer. You get your child from Thursday out of school, you take them to school that Friday, all the way to you drop them to school that Monday. Normally you don't get that. Normally you get Friday after school to Sunday evening. But with expanded, you get that. I fought for expanded with my son because, at first I was trying to fight for custody of my son. I say, listen, he's 12 years old at the time. He need to come live with his daddy because I need to teach him to be a man, right? But unfortunately, to my disappointment, and $16,000 later, I got expanded possession out of it. It was like a no-brainer. Is that like, let the boys go live with their daddy, especially like, I'm stable. I don't have I don't drink, I don't drug. Like I said, I ain't got nothing going on. Had no business. Like I said, I'm married. I have a stable household. I got room for him. I got everything, right? Those courts do not care about that. The woman got to be drugged out. I mean, it got to be a bad situation with that woman for you to get your child. See, to me, I'll say this. Let the sons go live with their daddy when they're 12. If their dad shows, and listen, I had a lawyer come in here, which they have a lawyer for your child. You're trying to do child custody. She came in here. She seen how I live. She interviewed with me and my wife. And like, so it's a whole process when you're trying to get custody of your children, right? And I was still denied. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no criminal. I don't have none of those issues and problems. So that's what I'm saying. The only thing sometimes you could do is just get expanded possession. Now, if your child gets older and your child say, I want to live with my dad, that would be the only way I would tell any man to go to court for custody, because that child's so adamant, then they're going to take what that child say in consideration in those cases. But if you just say, man, I want to get my son, I'm telling you, that's at least my experience. And like I said, I fought for almost a year trying to do that. And like I said, I was married when I had my son, so it's not like I just had some random situation. But, you know, just my experiences. But I still tell men, even if you can't get custody, try to get expanded, because it gives you more time. It solidifies more time than the standard, you know, visitation that you normally get. And she's not in control of anything, because if she pull a stunt or whatever, then now you got some leverage. You know what I'm saying? And all you got to do is make an example out of it one good time about that. And she's not going to try it no more. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think, you know, she would even go that far. Queen Naija, I don't think she would, because I don't think she want that kind of problem, because she's in the public eye. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the situation, you know, with Chris Sales here and Queen Naija. You know, what's your position on that, brothers, especially? You know, how would you handle this? I know some dudes, you know, out there be like, man, if I can't see my child, F her and that kid. They got some brothers on that. They got some on that. Trust me, they got some on that. And even though it's a messed up response, I've seen the drama be so bad that sometimes it's better for the guy just to kind of back off a little while and let that child grow up a little bit, then reapproach. I've seen that too. Like I said, that's not my story, but I definitely seen it. But let me know what you think.